First of all, a disclaimer. This video is mostly my own personal reflections and opinion. Some statements may be incorrect. Feel free to point them out in the comment section, but I have no intention of re-recording to correct any errors. They'll stand in the comment section for everyone to see. Subject of this video today is a user who decided to comment on Dark the Atheist's latest video supporting Vogter's latest series of videos on various subjects.
Learn to be wild.
What the fuck? There are people out there busting my ass for busting Judy and busting Termon's girl's ass for busting Judy. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Some of the remarks were speculative and made accusations that were not elaborated on, much less supported by evidence. Yes, I know, 500-character comment sections aren't the place for citations and so on, but you'll see what I mean when you see the comments for yourselves. I've already responded to the comments, but I like to put a video out as comments often very quickly get buried. Besides, it's an opportunity to demonstrate that there are some people who can't be bothered to carry out even a basic elementary school level of research on their critics and detractors. Here are two comments from a user called MoscowMaestro in the video that Dark the Atheist made. Vogter is a cunt. He sucks up to neocon thugs like Obama and Hillary and doesn't give a damn about human rights at all. This piece of scum Vogter should have been kicked off YouTube long ago. And stand up for rights? ? That Scandinavian Nazi piece of shit? ? I don't know what videos of his you've seen? ? Maybe you think this arsehole really has wings like in his fucking kiddie animation? ? ROFL! ! The guy is a cunt who supports Guantanamo and the war in Afghanistan, a real piece of shit. Well, my first observation is typically the same with many trolls on the internet. Loudmouthed, obnoxious, insulting from the get-go. I can speculate as to why these comments are flying around, but there really is no need. My response was a simple one. I pointed out the inconsistencies in his statements, and the hypocrisy in wanting to silence someone who you've criticised, rightly or wrongly, for not supporting human rights. This was the response I got back. So you support Guantanamo and the Afghan war too, huh? Fuck off and die, you sack of Yankee Nazi shit. It gets better, however. These two comments were posted on my channel page. Yankee cock-sucking scum. Fuck you. Fuck your war, fuck your Gitmo, fuck your torture camps. The USA knew it could rely on spineless British cunts like you to arrest Julian Assange. You're a worthless piece of scum, arsehole. And? Ha 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 ha! I see you're supporting the Yankee doo-doo fucktard campaign about body scanners too, are you? Shit cunt? ? Get a brain, you medieval turd. Now I couldn't help but be amused by all of this, as even the cursory amount of research would have rendered the accusations behind the vitriol to be completely false. Indeed, just scrolling down my channel comments would have revealed my own objections to TSA scanning procedures. I even went as far as to tell this angry little hornet that he was wrong in the comments. I'll reiterate my responses here. Number 1. I'm not an American citizen, an American by birth, or by heritage, and I do not, nor have I ever, lived in the US of A. Number 2. I am not, by any stretch of the imagination, a supporter of Guantanamo Bay, torture, including waterboarding, any form of torture camps, the war on Iraq, or the pointless war on terror that the USA seems to want to prosecute. Number 3. On the subject of the war on Iraq, my government does not speak for me, just as the US government does not speak for my future wife, who happens to be a US citizen. My government supported the war in Iraq. I protested that war by marching through the streets during a portion of the rally that passed through my part of town one day. To the best of my knowledge, none of the protests had any effect. Not with Tony Blair in power at the time and prepared to do America's bidding. The point, of course, is that while the majority of the UK population did not wish to get involved in a fight that was not of our own choosing, the administration of the UK decided to get involved anyway, against the wishes of its people. Number 4. Julian Assange's arrest in the UK is an issue I will touch upon in my next video. Suffice to say that I support WikiLeaks, and my previous video is a response to someone who, erroneously I might add, thinks that the journalist, Julian Assange, is a piece of scum. Again, my response to this blatantly false accusation and the smear campaign against this journalist, who is acting in the interests of freedom of the press, will be expanded upon in my next video. Number 5. I am not a supporter of the National Socialist Party, nor any derivative of it. I do not support the ideals of the Nazi Party and do not support neo-Nazis of any kind. I respect the US Constitution too much to allow myself to be swayed by a relic of World War II. Number 6. My worth is not determined by an anonymous internet troll who seems to be able to formulate sentences only when they contain a smattering of cursings and mutterings reminiscent of a 5th grade dropout. Not that this would make any difference to the aforementioned anonymous internet trolls who dropped out of the 5th grade. Number 7. I have no intention of dying anytime soon. Sorry to disappoint you. Number 8. As for the issue of perv scanners, all one had to do was scroll down the page to see my implicit rejection of such methods as a security precaution in the interest of security. To be clear, I do not think they are of much use. I do not like the conduct of some TSA agents. I think the TSA needs to be overhauled, and I most certainly do not support the Obama administration's response to criticisms of perv scanners or the TSA pat-down procedures. In that respect, I'm most certainly against the Yankee Doodle fucktard campaign about body scanners. Number 9. The medieval era of history involved the Spanish Inquisition, the Crusades, and the killing of people who did not explicitly follow the theocratic rule of law. I certainly have no support for such backward-thinking mentalities. Number 10. I have a brain. However, I have to wonder if the brain that this little hornet is equipped with has fully developed frontal lobes. If it did, the angry response could have all been avoided by simply engaging said frontal lobes and carrying out the measly effort required to determine if what he or she was claiming was accurate to begin with. While we're on the subject of anger, might I once again suggest some form of anger management to control those violent impulses that seem to be seething just beneath the surface before you cause someone harm? Just a thought.